Update. I made my dad choose between me and his new family. Original post. My father, 52, and I, 25, female, along with my 3-year-old Cocker Spaniel, Moxie, live in my mom's ancestral house that I inherited along with other assets when she died when I was 16 due to cancer. My father got married to his high school sweetheart a few months ago while he was on a trip with his friends. Apparently, they've been in contact for almost 2 years now. I was shocked, but it's his life, and if he's happy, then I'm okay with it. They moved in a week after the small wedding that I wasn't even invited to since I had no idea that they were even dating or that he was dating. She, my dad's wife that we call Steph, 51, came with a baggage. Twin stepsisters, 20 female Lizzie and Lexi, fake names, and their 2 chihuahuas, Gucci and Hermes. They go to the state college nearby and thought that it would save them money if they live here instead of paying rent, etc. My dad asked if it was okay, and he also stated that the house is big enough for us. 7 bedrooms, 8.5 baths, a basement, and a huge yard with a pool. To make my dad happy, I said yes. Big mistake. First issue was the argument of me moving to a smaller room since my room has the second biggest closet of all of the rooms in the house. She needed it to store all her luxury bags and clothes, etc. I said no. I told her it's been my room since I can remember, and she's not making me move when it's my house. My dad compromised with her that he'll give his side of the closet to her while his things are in the other room. Second issue, the twins have this habit of barging into people's room without knocking, and that includes my office, currently working from home due to COVID. Lexi walked in one time wearing a bikini looking for something while I was in the middle of a business meeting. She literally walked behind me where everyone could see her. I was pissed off and embarrassed. Third, their dogs are not potty trained and would leave poops and pee around the house, and the twins wouldn't even clean up after them. They're also very aggressive towards Moxie. I found Moxie one time with a scratch on her left eye when the other 2 dogs would usually nip out when they get the chance. Fourth, all the family photos in the house were removed and put in the attic without my approval. That includes my grandparents, my great-grandparents, my mother's family photo, my baby pictures, etc. I took my time to put them all back to where they belonged. This happened a few times. Then 2 days ago, Steph did it again. But this time she replaced them with her pictures, the twins and her family, etc. Steph and I had a heated argument about it. I told her that she can't do anything regarding the decorations, etc. in my house without my approval, and that her daughters should also learn how to knock on doors and have their dogs potty trained. She said that they can do whatever they want in her house and that she will be making up house rules that we will all follow, since she thinks I'm such a wild animal doing whatever I want, and that I was not raised properly due to having a bad, useless mother. To say I was livid was an understatement. I told her that she can pack her things along with her twins because I'm kicking her out. She said that I have no right to kick them out from her house. I told her, and I quote, "Lady, you are living under my roof. This is my house. I inherited it from my mother, and right now you, your twins, and your dogs are trespassing. Get out before I call the cops." My dad got home early that day after Steph told him what happened. I told him my side of the story, and he said that they're still getting used to the house and the move here was difficult for them. I told him about all the issues surrounding them, but he kept insisting that it's going to get better and that to just give them some time. I told him that I've put up with all their crap and I've had enough. Enough is enough. He was defending them more and taking their side. So I told him that he can either move out with them or stay, and that he has until the end of the week. Did I do the right thing here, making my dad choose between me and his new family? I literally gave them a chance and I've put up with so much of their awfulness for the past few months. Which is sad about my mother was my breaking point. There's no way that she will disrespect her in the house where she grew up in, where I grew up in. Now for the top comments before reading the updates. Definitely yes. Good for you. Literally my first thought, nodding like, yes, good. They sound terrible. Girl, you did what you had to do and I would 100% do the exact same thing. Your father, on the other hand, needs to grow some spine. It seems like she got him wrapped around her fingers. I doubt it was even his idea to get married without inviting you. If he ends up choosing them, just cut them out. Go no contact. You don't need that kind of toxicity in your life. Also, make sure that he can't contest your inheritance regarding the house just so they can stay there. You know, people these days. I hope it turns up in your favor. Don't put the secret wedding on the wife. Daddy Dearest dated for 2 years hiding it so hard that Opie had no clue whatsoever. Even if this was her idea, Daddy Dearest was totally in support of it. Yes, This amount of entitlement your father's wife and stepdaughters is absurd. I am so glad you kicked them out. As far as your dad, his behavior is also pretty terrible. The whole thing where, whoops, I got married, didn't tell you. And oh, by the way, can my new family move in? He is not showing any courtesy, respect, and honesty. I wouldn't be surprised if the wedding was the stepmom's idea, especially not inviting the daughter of the man you're marrying. Like, what is that? Now for the first update. So, just a quick update. I've read the comments and thank you for your support. I really do appreciate it. It does make it seem like I'm a pushover. Well, maybe I am. I just don't like confrontation, arguing, or anything that ends up fighting with someone. I'm just not that type of person. I will be changing the locks around the house as some of you suggested. Unfortunately, the gate at the property is old and rusted, and it's been open for who knows how long, so I can't really do much about it right now. Anyway, I called the same lawyer that handled my mom's will to review if there's any loophole or any chance that my dad can contest it. I'll be seeing her in a couple of hours. Regarding my dad, he's a good man. He has worked hard to provide for me my needs when my mom died. He's never asked me to tap on my money to help with the living expenses, etc. He makes a decent amount of money as an engineer, like 6 figures, so I don't think he's after my money. I could be wrong though. I just think that he's blinded that someone still finds him attractive at his age. Also didn't help how it was his high school sweetheart. I've also talked to him about his impromptu wedding and how he kept things from me. He just said that he didn't know how I was going to react if I knew that he was dating the ex-girlfriend before he met and married my mom. I was pissed off, but I got over it since he seemed happy having her around. I don't know what their whole story is or if there's a bad blood between her and my mom to make her lash out like that and disrespect her. Steph and her evil spawns are staying somewhere in town. No idea where, and I don't care or want to find out. They have the money to take care of themselves, and if they run out, they always have their luxury bags to sell. Honestly, who needs so much bag that they require a whole closet just to store them? If anyone's wondering where my relatives are, well, my mom was an only child and grandparents left her everything. When my mom died, I got most of what she inherited. She left some to my dad as well. My grandparents on my dad's side lives about 6 hours away with my uncles and aunts. It's literally just me and my dad here and Moxie. Moxie's doing well. She's happier and seems to enjoy the quietness around the house. I'll update as soon as I can, but thank you for all the support. Sounds like you're safe, and good that they moved out. You did the right thing by kicking them out. It is just so entitled and disrespectful. I would also suggest to keep anything sentimental as well as anything valuable to you locked up, just in the off chance she comes back and destroys some of your pictures, etc. This is a very good idea. And I would also suggest that Opie take video, photograph, keep a ledger or a spreadsheet, etc. But Opie needs to document and keep a record of any and everything of monetary and sentimental value. Girl, how big is your property? Sounds like it's old money passed down for generations. There's nothing wrong with being kind, but sometimes you just have to toughen up and grow some spine, which is what you did. Keep your valuables somewhere safe until they're 100% out of your life. If you can't afford to live in a house by yourself, if things turns out bad, rent the rooms, but make sure they sign a lease or something. Your dad doesn't sound that bad, just made some wrong decisions on his part. Your dad didn't tell you he was dating and getting married because he wasn't sure how you'd take it, but had no issues moving them into your house? You need to reevaluate your relationship with him. That's bananas. I mean, it's most likely she talked him into it, but that just goes to show he likely cares more about her than you. Sorry, that's a rough situation. I don't know how I'll handle it, but I think you did the right thing by booting them. I've also talked to him about his impromptu wedding and how he kept things from me. He just said that he didn't know how I was going to react if I knew that he was dating the ex-girlfriend before he met and married my mom. Very likely lies Opie. Daddy didn't want you to be upset that he was dating, but he didn't care you might be upset he got married. Without telling you, without inviting you. He didn't care if you were unhappy with him wanting to drag his secret wife and her spawn into your home. He doesn't care that you're unhappy with a witch who is claiming your home as hers, redecorating as she pleases, allows her spawn to do as they please, including injuring your dog, and risking your job, and trash talks your mother. His explanation is that the move has been hard on them. He doesn't give a rat's head how hard this has been on you. I'm sorry, Opie, but your dad caring about how you feel has nothing to do with his actions. It's how he feels that is important to him, and how Wifey Pooh and her spawn feel. And now here's the second update. So, I spoke with my mother's previous lawyer, Amy, fake name, about the issue on Saturday and asked if there's a way to contest the will. She showed me the documents and my dad and I both signed an agreement, in summary, that we agree on what was left to us and that we will not be contesting it in the future. Mom for the win. She also advised to give them at least 30 days to find a place and move out to avoid any legal troubles, etc. So inheritance issue is solved. Saturday night, I was supposed to have dinner with just my dad. Apparently, a private discussion between father and daughter is a whole family affair. The Stephen twins were there. To make it quick and to end the misery, I stated that I spoke with Amy regarding the house and other legal issues. I also added that they have 30 days to find a place and move out. Steph tried to object, but Dad shut her down by saying that we can't fix the issue, and that we can all go to family therapy and that we just need time to get to know each other. Cue my eyes rolling. I informed him that it's been months since they moved in, and not once did they try to be family, unless they need something. I put my foot down, enough is enough. So I asked him if he's going with them or staying, so I'll know which items he'll be taking. He asked if I'm kicking him out, which I told him I'm not. That is free to choose to wherever he goes, but I told him that he should not expect me to keep in contact with him if he decides to leave. Steph asked why I'm kicking him out of his house. I told her that I inherited my house from my mother. She said that I told her that I live with him. I guess she thought that I live with my dad in his house. Big misunderstanding on their part. Lexi argued that it's going to be hard to move since they're finishing up spring semester, and that finals are in a couple of weeks. I just smiled and said to better hurry and find a place. I left after that. Yesterday, Easter Sunday, I invited my boyfriend and his family and my two best friends over to celebrate Easter Sunday. My dad has been calling me and I didn't bother answering the call. He tried to invite me to spend a day with them. As far as I'm concerned, the only family I have right now are my two best friends, my boyfriend and his family. It was a good Sunday. We did some egg hunting and a few games and had a big dinner, which I haven't had in a long time. I felt right. Anyway, right now I'm finishing up on documenting everything that's worth over $500 in the house. I had a few people over to help document them. All locks have been changed. I only gave a copy to my boyfriend. Don't worry about my dad asking him about the key. Dad doesn't approve of him since he's middle class. He also hired professionals to install a security system around the house and property, and I am scheduled to meet with someone regarding the fences and gate. I have not tapped into the fund that my mom left since I started college to help with tuition, dorm, and other expenses, but this is an emergency and it calls for it. All the family pictures, portraits, etc. are currently in a storage. All other valuables that are small are in a safety deposit box. All documents are in a water and fireproof safe that requires a key and a pin to open, currently in my room. I'm trying to take all the precautions and advice that you guys wrote in the comment section in my previous post. Thank you for those. So that's about it for now. Not really sure why Dad is choosing to be with them than me, his own flesh and blood. I'll update this if there's any news or something stupid happens, but I've come to accept that for some unknown or unexplainable reason, they're more important to him than me. It's hard since he's the only family I have left here, and I'm really not that close with his side of the family. So once they move out, I'm cutting contact with them. He is a grown man and he can decide whatever the heck he wants to do with his life. Thanks for all the support and well wishes. Great job. Don't let your dad play you. He made his choice. He may try to lie to you in order to get his way. Don't let him weasel his way back in. He is out and needs to stay out. Don't be surprised if some big emergency comes up where someone claims they are sick or injured and need more time or help. That is what my family does. I cut them out 3 years ago. In the last month alone, according to the harassment, my grandpa needed blood and had a rare issue, and they wanted me to get tested. Never said what to get tested for. My grandma has a stroke. The doctors say if it was a stroke, it was small and there's no damage. My sister wants to divorce her husband and my parents aren't supportive. Why is my mom leaving frantic voicemails about how my sister needs any support? But now that grandpa has pneumonia or congestive heart failure, not to be cold, but he is 90 and in poor health, and he is going to die, and there is nothing I can do about it. They treat me like a monster because I don't care. I actually care very much, but when every month is like this and that, it loses meaning. They manufactured emergencies so things can never get better and they have an excuse. You make sure to keep up the great work and document everything. You are doing great. This is a very good point. Those people are going to come up with crazy reasons to get back in. The stepmom's sleeping with him, so he will choose whatever keeps her in his bed. It's pathetic how some men, and some women, care more about getting off than their own children. I'm sorry, OP. Focus your time and energy on your boyfriend and his family. Yeah, that's my feeling too. His prick is making all the decisions. I think that now that Opie is grown up and probably established a good footing to whatever her career is, it's time for him to be happy and try for a second chance with love. He's so blinded that he didn't consult or consider her daughter before making the big decision. Granted, she's 25 and an adult, but if it's the only family she have left, then you would think he'll make better decisions. I've read worse in the AIT page, like husband cheating on wife and choosing the mistress and such, so Opie should be able to handle this. I just hope that her boyfriend isn't leeching off of her. Get that prenup ready. With her actions, it was pretty obvious that she thought it was your dad's house and you were just living in it. Hence, she asked you to give up your room because she wants your closet. She thought she can drive you out, most likely intended. Nicely played. And yes, mom for the win. This is like the re-edited story of Cinderella, when everything goes right for Cinderella but not for the stepmother and the stepsisters. Why cut contact once he moved his new family out? I know he married her without you, but I felt he should have moved them into their own place in the beginning anyway. Maybe then the two of you would have been able to salvage your relationship. But if he is trying to still be a dad to you, why not? From what I can tell, his new wife and her daughters have been extremely disrespectful to not only Opie, but the memory of her mother/his wife. Honestly, him staying with his wife and his children is him condoning their treatment of Opie and his late wife. He knows what they have been doing and saying, but instead of trying to reason with his wife and get them to apologize, he's putting the responsibility of accepting an awful relationship on his daughter. That in itself is not something a parent should ever do.